Hi guys, how are you? Hello people, hello. Am I audible as well as visible? Am I audible as well as visible, guys? Yes, I think I am audible as well as visible. Hello. Good evening guys, this is a live lecture and this lecture is precisely for the audience who wanted me to teach in English. So basically the learners who are not very well versed in Hindi. So if you want to follow my Hindi lectures, they are also available. We are premiering them live every alternate day at 7 p.m. right? And you can find them in our homepage also, right? Right? Perfect. But this is a live lecture, so if anybody of you want me to teach live, then you have to bear with the English language. So for those who do not know me, my name is Prashant Jain. I am a graduate from IIT Bombay, BTech 2008, IIT Bombay, AIR 42, author of 19 books. So I have written 19 books. My IOQM book is like one of the best seller. Most viewed IOQM educator since last 6 years, mentor of AIR 1, 6 and 22 in ISI Math 2023, mentor of numerous top 100 ranks in JEE 2023, INCHO Gold Medalist, INPHO NTSE Qualified. So guys, all the content that I give is already in English. So that way, we do not have to segregate between the learners who are comfortable in Hindi and the learners who are comfortable in English, right? So, see like the timetable of this, every Wednesday I am planning to take these lectures. Obviously, other than me, other educators will also join in some time so that this course can be completed properly. Going forward, we will have around 2 to 3 lectures in English of IOQM, but to start with, I am going to start, right? We'll share the timetable, don't worry. Like I said, anybody who wants to follow Hindi lectures, they can do it. The timetable for the Hindi lectures, recorded Hindi lectures is Monday, Wednesday and Friday 7 p.m. right? That is the timetable. And one more thing, these are certain links which you can follow. All the information that are shared, like all the strategies that I make, all the strategy videos that you can see, you can find these videos here. Just a second, let me mark it for you. Telegram, https:/t.me/pjsir42, right? So you can get all the IOQM PYQs assignment mock test on this link. This is free, right? This is free content. You can get IOQM PYQs assignments. All these are already in English, right? And for other Olympiads also, you can follow these links, right? Good to go, guys. So first of all, let me tell you certain things. IOQM is a very demanding examination, but this year IOQM was a doable examination, right? In 2023, if I see the paper of 2023, getting 10 marks was arduous task, right? It was a very, very difficult task. 10 marks, only 4,000 students across the nation got marks which were more than 10, right? So, but this year the marks have improved, and around 30 to 40% students, 30 to 40% learners who gave IOQM this year are from those states, like the states which do not have like Hindi as their primary language, and that is why I decided to record these lectures in English, right? So the first lecture is basic number sense. So let's talk about the syllabus and everything, right? So I'm going to scope the syllabus of IOQM, right? All of us saw that in IOQM, they have reduced the dependency. In IOQM 2024, they have reduced the dependency on higher concepts. They did not ask any high concept. So please try and understand this thing. This is very, very important. For the first time, I am going to teach like IOQM 2024, right? IOQM 2024. So I am going to teach at the level of IOQM 2024 paper, right? It has its pros and cons, right? Initially, what used to happen when I taught IOQM, the level of theory was at par with RMO, right? The level of theory was at par with RMO. You do not have to study additionally for RMO, concept wise. Obviously, you have to do extra practice in RMO, but in this year, I am going to keep the level so that the students can comfortably score. Our target is to score 40 in IOQM 2025, right? So, this means we are going to do 9th and 10th mathematics at high level, right? This is going to be done at high level, right? What do I mean by 9th and 10th, right? Number system, real numbers, the complete number theory is going to be done at this level. Then there are certain advanced topics of number theory which will be covered from the month of April. For first few lectures, we are going to focus on this, right? After this, we will go after the number theory, then we will do algebra, then we will do geometry, and then we will do combinatorics, right? Combinatorics is pretty much basically like JEE combinatorics, JEE permutation and combination. This is what we are going to do, right? This is what we are going to do. Got it? All you need to do, every Wednesday, you need to attend these lectures live. If you cannot attend these lectures live, you can go for the recordings. After my lecture is complete, this will be time stamped, right? So that if you have certain topic which you cannot understand, you can go for that particular timestamp and see that particular part, right? Am I making sense, guys? Sir, what about your IUQM book? What about that? Just buy it. It is a very good book, and in fact, it is the only proper literature available for IUQM. It has solved examples, it has theory, it has lot of problems, it has AIME problems. And by the way, this course is useful for all the learners who are comfortable in English as well as they are planning to attempt AMC AIME, right? American Mathematics Contest and American Invitational Mathematics Exam, right? Right? Perfect. So, this is going to be the level. Obviously, so we will be giving, and we will be giving the worksheets also to you, which you can attempt, right? Based on these things. So, let's move on. So, let's start with basic number system, right? Number system is a method of writing numerals to represent numbers. 10 symbols. So this is so when we use 10 digits, right? So let's do a very thoughtful experiment. Just imagine that we have only 5 digits available, right? This is our convention. This is a convention made by human beings, right? This is a convention made by human beings that we are going to have 10 digits. Just imagine that that particular human being settled for 5 digits. Now let's assume that there are 12 oranges. How many oranges? 12 oranges. So how are these guys going to count it? Just see this. 1 orange, 2 orange, 3 orange, 4 orange. Now they cannot write 5 because digit 5 is not available. So what comes after 9? 10, right? So this is 5. Then 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, right? So while counting those 12 oranges, these people would have written 22. So what I am trying to say, 12 in decimal is 22 in base 5. So this is called, if 5 digits are available, then that system is then that system is base 5. Please write it down. And if you are lagging behind in writing, you can write all these things after the lecture is completed, right? After the lecture is completed. Getting my point? So, see, like, this is our made convention, right? 10, using 10 digits is a convention made by us. It is not made by God. It is not divine intervention, right? It is made by us, right? So, if we follow the convention of using 5 digits, then this is how the counting will work, right? This is how the counting will work. This particular aspect we will dive deep. We will deep dive into it after some time, right? This is called base system. This is a particular topic. This is a particular topic in number system, right? Number theory, it is a particular topic which we are going to deal later. But for now, we will assume that we are dealing with 10 digits, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now, you imagine any number that you have written in your life. You must have used some of these digits in particular combination, right? In particular combination. Getting my point? Right? Right? Yes, I can see your chat. Nultron, I can see your chat. Right? The lectures are not in accordance with the book, right? The lectures are not in accordance with the book. So, I will provide you with certain assignments for it. The book can be attempted after some time. Each of the symbol is called a digit, right? So, this is a very simple thing. The start of IOQM paper was very simple. Likewise, the start of this lecture is going to be very simple. It is going to be demanding after some time. It is going to be demanding after some time. So, do we need to make 2 separate copies of worksheet and your book exercise? Yes. If you are preparing for IOQM seriously, you need to make a proper answer copy, different copy for my book. If you are using my book as a textbook, which is your primary study material, then you need to solve it in a separate homework copy. Okay. Got it? Got it? Yes. Chaliye. So, classification of numbers, this you must have seen. So, see, like, this is important in JEE, imaginary number. For us, it is not important. For us, let's start from here. Real numbers. Real numbers are bifurcated into rational numbers and irrational numbers. Irrational numbers which cannot be represented in the form of P by Q, right? See, like, if you are preparing for IOQM, you cannot expect me to write the definition of all these things, right? These will be available to you in the notes. I will be providing you with the notes of these lectures. So, you can write the definitions of these. If you do not actually see, like, as per my opinion, you know the definition, you may not know the exact definition. There may be some fine point which you may have been missing, but those points will be covered in the notes. I will be providing you with the notes. So, there are rational numbers and there are irrational numbers. Rational numbers are basically P by Q, which can be written in the form of P by Q. Q is not equal to 0 and HCF of P and Q has to be 1. Irrational number. Then we have integers, negative integers, whole numbers. Whole numbers are also called non-negative integers. So, this is the terminology which is used in IOQM questions. If you see, they do not use the term whole numbers, they use non-negative integers. Natural numbers are positive integers, right? Now, what is the other name for natural number? Can you tell me? It is written in the NCERT. What is the other name for natural number? Positive integer, natural numbers are the two names which I am giving you. What is the other name given for natural numbers? Can you tell me? What is the other name given for natural numbers? Counting numbers. Very good, Arindam. So, Arindam is saying counting numbers. So, these are called counting numbers also. Okay. Then these are fractions. Fractions are proper, improper, mixed. Proper, improper and mixed. Okay. So, proper fractions in which, so m by n basically, if m is less than n, then it is a proper fraction. If m greater than n, it is improper. And see, like, if it is like this and you write it like this, then it becomes mixed. So all these are terminologies which you need to write. So can you make this flow chart in your copy? Please make sure that you are making a new copy for it, right? I would very much appreciate if you can make a new copy for these lectures, right? JEE 2028 aspirants. Basically, fractions are positive rational numbers. Yeah, this is written in many books. I also believe that fractions are positive always, right? Roman bhai, okay. Sir, Pathfinder book. Sir, what is going to be the difference in content of English and Hindi lecture? See, like if there, see, the difference is not in the language. If there were a difference in the two content, two different educators would be teaching. Since I am the one only who like teaching in the English, so there is not going to be any difference. That is what I feel, at least. Yes, my book is enough to crack IOQM. Got it? So natural numbers. So like I said, I am just going to go through the definition, but here are certain terminologies. Now when I write it like this, this is a collection. What do I call it? This is a collection. And in mathematical term, it is called set. What do I call it? Set. Okay. So when I say 2 belongs to n, this symbol is known as belongs to. See, like why we are doing these things? Because these things help us understand the question better. Whatever is written in IOQM question paper is in mathematical language. So this is a mathematical language. 2 belongs to n means 2 is an element of the set of natural number. So sets are always represented in capital letters. Always represented in capital letters. Got it? Always represented in capital letters. Correct? No. Ramanujan students do not have to watch this. They have a different Zoom course. Okay. Whole numbers. All natural numbers together with 0 form the collection of whole numbers. Now again, when I am saying it is a collection, this becomes set. Like I said, every set is represented with capital letter. W is a capital letter, right? And it is a well-known symbol for whole numbers. It is well accepted. Well known means well accepted. If you see NCERT, which is the standard textbook for mathematics in India, W is what is written in 11th class first chapter for whole numbers, right? Okay. Yes, all the topics will be covered, guys. All the topics will be covered. You don't have to worry about it. Integers. All numbers 0 and negative of natural numbers form the collection of all integers. Yes, this is very obvious. So I'm just going to go through all these things, right? You can just simply write done. If you are well versed with all the definitions till now, you can write done. You can write this in chat. DN. Just write DN in the chat. Just write DN in the chat. Do I have to watch Hindi lectures if I watch these lectures? It totally depends on you, man. Like I said, the level is not going to be like my old IOQM lectures, because at that point of time I was covering RMO as well with IOQM, right? This is to get 40 marks in IOQM 2025. I am assuming that IOQM 2025 is going to be of the same level as IOQM 2024, right? Thank you. Right? Thank you. Rational numbers. These are real numbers which can be expressed in the form of P by Q, where P and Q are integers, Q and Q not equal to 0. For example, these things, right? All natural numbers, whole numbers and integers are rational, right? This is very obvious thing, and that is why we make a particular type of diagram, right? There is a diagram associated with all these numbers which I am going to make in some time. rational numbers including all integers without any decimal, also non-terminating but recurring decimal. This is a very important terminology. Non-terminating but recurring. Recurring means the pattern will repeat. For example, if you have 1 by 7, you can write it as 0.142857, and then this means that this pattern will repeat. Such numbers are also rational numbers. The numbers which are non-terminating and non-recurring, are called irrational numbers, okay, are called irrational numbers. Got it? Perfect. So like these are simply like we do not require them, to be honest. If you were giving board examination, if you were giving any school examination, you would require these definitions. I have included them so that you can get them in notes. If you find them useful, please note it down. You feel free to note them down after the lecture ends, right? Irrational number. Now this is very important. All real numbers which are not rational are irrational. These are non-recurring as well as non-terminating. Now these are very simple looking irrational numbers. We all know them, right? We all know these things, right? We all know these irrational numbers. But what we do not know, I am going to write a number. You tell me if it is rational or irrational, right? You just tell me if it is rational or irrational. And the pattern continues. What is it? Is it a rational number or irrational number? You need to tell me. Pi is irrational. Pi is irrational. It is a definite irrational number. In fact, let me give you a very good fact. Pi is 4 times 1 minus 1 by 3 plus 1 by 5 minus 1 by 7 plus 1 by 9 minus 1 by 11. This is how the value of pi is calculated, right? There is no pattern in it. Irrational. Why are you saying it is irrational? Because there is no pattern which is following. You can see only 0 and 1, 0 and 1, but the number of zeros between the two consecutive one increase. We have 1 0 here, we have 2 zeros here, we have 3 zeros here, we have 4 zeros here, we have 5 zeros here, right? 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 See, like guys, I am I am taking a huge effort in teaching in English, like for teaching in English, right? Obviously, English is not my first language. Hindi is my first language. I teach, like I had to prepare a lot for this lecture. Believe me when I am saying this. And it is just because of the love of students. Like I went to Vijayawada last month. Last month I went to Vijayawada. There were many learners who told me, sir, we see your lectures, we cannot understand them because we are well versed in English, we cannot understand Hindi. Please, sir, do some lectures for us as well. And because of that support, because of that love, I prepared these lectures in English, right? So please, bear with me, right? So is there any of you, like, is there any, so like some of the people in the chat are the ones who can understand Hindi as well, but they are simply doing this lecture as I am live, right? So do we have anyone in the chat who can understand only English? Do we have anyone? IUQM result will come after 24th of September. That is what I think. Nice. Okay, thank you. So like please keep spreading these lectures. You are the beacon of hope for me, right? I get demotivated when I see a very few learners attending these lectures. But even if you see the recording, if you spread the word that sir is now teaching in English, it is going to make huge difference for me, right? So these are irrational numbers, right? Pi is irrational. One more fact, E, 1 plus 1 upon 1 factorial, 1 upon 2 factorial, 1 upon 3 factorial, so on. It is also irrational. It is also irrational, right? What is 3 factorial? 3 factorial is 3 into 2 into 1. In fact, n factorial or n is 1 into 2 into 3. This was the first question. This was the first question in IOQM 2024. Did you see this? Did you see this? Right? So, like factorial is just a name, right? Factorial is just a name. Believe me when I am saying this, factorial is just a name. Okay, it's very, so I am in Bangalore right now and it is very cold here. Anyway, let's move on to the next thing. Then we have something called real numbers. So, just a second, yeah. So, this is, so now I am going to make a figure, right? This is natural number. All natural numbers are whole number. All whole numbers are integers. Z is something which is written for integers. Then all integers are rational numbers. Then we have a set of irrational numbers. Together they make real number, right? So, this is the diagram which you should always remember when classification of numbers is talked about, right? Okay. How can I be smarter than you? Believe me, Johnny, if you are as smart as I am, then also your life will thrive. Your life will thrive. Like you will literally do wonders in your life. Don't worry. So, why do you want to become smarter than me? Okay. So, this is the image which you need to remember when you visualize classification of numbers. Okay. Perfect. Now, let's dive deep into natural numbers. There are certain type of natural numbers which are to be remembered, specifically prime numbers. All natural numbers that have 1 and itself only as their factors are called prime numbers. So, two divisors only are exactly divisible by and themselves. So, these are the numbers. Now, there are certain things which you need to remember. 25 prime numbers between 1 to 100, 21 prime numbers of 2 digits. These are certain facts. See, like to develop number sense, you need to remember certain things, right? Because we see the pattern which we have recognized earlier. What is the meaning of this sentence? If you know certain things, then you are more likely to see that pattern, right? For example, in 2016-17, I saw a number plate 1681 and it fascinated me. 1681 is 41 square, right? 16 is a square of 4, 81 is a square of 9, 4 is a square of 2, 9 is a square of 3. This is the only number which can be written like this. Now, how I could see this pattern? Because I knew 16 and 81 were squares. Because I knew that squares are certain things which are to be remembered. So, I recorded a video for a 5-minute challenge. The English audience may not be able to understand that, but here is the challenge, right? 5-minute challenge. I am going to give you this challenge, 5-minute challenge. On a plain sheet of paper, you need to write a square of numbers from 1 to 50. Table of 1 to 30. 2 to the power 1, 2 to the power 2 till 2 to the power 10, 3 to the power 1, 3 to the power 2 till 3 to the power 8, 5 to the power 1, 5 to the power 2 till 5 to the power 8. Additionally, I am also assigning you this task till 15 cube, right? If you see 2197 is 13 cube, you should be able to remember these things, right? I have seen particular problems which becomes extremely simple if you know certain of these numbers, few of these numbers if you remember, then those questions become extremely simple. So you need to remember these things. Please write them down. After this lecture, you need to write them on a piece of paper, right? Just write them down and paste it on your wall, so that every day when you see that particular chart, you are seeing these numbers, and believe me, if you increasingly, like if you increase the frequency of seeing these numbers, they will get imprinted in your muscle memory, and then you will not be able to forget these numbers. Okay. Okay. Shyam Umale, I have already recorded RMO strategy. Just attend the lectures of SPS sir. We are giving free lectures, and the learners who prefer YouTube, they can see the RMO lectures of me and SPS sir in this channel also. Okay. Perfect. Let's move on. Then we have composite numbers. 1 is neither prime nor composite. We all know this fact, because 1 has only one divisor. 2 divisors prime, 1 divisor 1, more than 2 divisors composite numbers, more than 2 divisors composite numbers, right? Then there is a very interesting theorem, right, which is called fundamental theorem of algebra. Fundamental theorem of algebra. Fundamental theorem of algebra, no, it is actually arithmetic. Arithmetic. Fundamental theorem of arithmetic. So what does FTA says? Every composite number can be uniquely represented as product of power of primes, right? disregarding the order of appearance. Now what does this mean? Let's take one number 2160. Let's take this number 2160, right? I can write it as 2 to the power 4, 3 to the power 3, 5 to the power 1, right? Please check it, please confirm it. If it can be written like this, please confirm it. Please confirm, guys. I want you to confirm this. Can it be written like this? Can it be written like this? Can it be written like this? Please say yes or no. Can it be written like this? Right? It can be written like this. Now, what does this theorem says? Every composite number, obviously 2160 is a composite number, can be uniquely represented as product of primes. Product of power of primes, it is written like this. Uniquely, this is very important, uniquely. There is no other way you can write it. If you say, no sir, I can write it like this, you are just simply changing the order of appearance, right? So that is why we have written disregarding the order of appearance. We are disregarding the order of appearance. Okay. Okay. Disregarding the order of appearance. Okay, guys. Got it? See, like 19 from Tamil Nadu, you have slight chance, but it is going to be 50-50, right? Okay, perfect. Let's move on. Classification of co-prime numbers. This is again another important terminology. This is something which is required to understand the problem very, very carefully, right? If the HCF of two given numbers, not necessarily prime is 1, then they are called co-prime numbers. Example, 4 and 9 are co-prime, as HCF of 4 and 9 are 1. Any two consecutive numbers will always be co-prime. This is something. Now, when you see this terminology, this means HCF of A and B. When you see this terminology, like we will use these terminologies, right? LCM of A and B. Okay, this is HCF of A and B, this is LCM of A and B. Don't worry guys, we will be doing certain problems. You don't have to worry about it, we will be doing certain problems. Meanwhile, can you please like the video? Meanwhile, can you please like the video? Okay, many of you have already liked it. Many of you have already liked it. Got it. Perfect. So, even numbers. We all know what are even numbers, what are odd numbers, we all know, right? We can neglect this definition. For now, we can neglect this definition. We do not have to worry about this definition, right? But see this, 0 is an even number. They can be represented as 2n. Odd numbers can be represented as 2n minus 1. This is very important, right? You just plug in any integral value of n, you will get odd. Let's assume that you are putting n equal to 14. 2 into 14 is 28, 28 minus 1 is 27, 27 is an odd number, right? That is how we represent odd numbers in a particular way, okay? Got it? Perfect. Perfect. Complex number you can just ignore. Now, this is very important. Square and square root was a chapter in your class 8. Square and square root, cube and cube roots, right? So, like I said, you need to remember the square till 50. Square roots are simply not to be like remembered as such. For example, square root of 2 is 1.4142. Square root of 3 is 1.732. If you do not remember them, it's okay. I don't mind. By itself, then the product is called square of the number. Perfect square, you already know, 149. Perfect squares are always non-negative. This is something which you need to remember here is this. There are two things. A square root of 81 is only 9. A square root of 81 is not minus 9. So, square root of positive number is always positive. This is one rule which you need to remember, right? This is one. Second, if a square plus b square plus c square, it is given to be less than equal to 0, it implies a equal to b equal to c equal to 0, provided a, b, c are real numbers. If they are imaginary number, then it's a different story altogether. But squares of 3 real numbers adding, and if the addition is less than or equal to 0, it implies a equal to b equal to c equal to 0. Got my point? Got my point? Perfect. Perfect. Let's move on. So, properties of square root. This is something which is related to cyclicity. Cyclicity also. Unit digit of number is 2, 3, 7 or 8, then it does not have a square root in n. What does this mean? There exists no perfect square with unit digit 2, 3, 7, 8, right? So, let's write down some perfect squares. 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, 36, 49, 64, 81, 100, 121, 144, 169, 196, 225, right? If you see, unit digit has a cyclic pattern, 14965, 69410, right? 14965, 69410, again 14965. So this unit digit pattern will repeat, and that is why I am calling it cyclic pattern. Cyclic pattern, it is cyclic, right? It is simply cyclic. And as you can see, these digits do not appear in unit digit in this cycle. You cannot find 2, you cannot find 3, you cannot find 7, or you cannot find 8. Getting my point? Getting my point? Right? Are you getting my point? Perfect. If a number adds an odd number of zeros, then it does not have a square root in n. Obviously. See, like if you do 100 square, the number of zeros will always be even, right? This is a very self-explanatory point. If square root of even number is even, the square root of odd number is odd, right? This is also self-explanatory. But these points are to be written. These points are to be written in your notebook, believe me. When I am saying this thing, an obedient learner is the one who blindly follows the instruction of educators. And believe me, examinations like JEE, IOQM, NEET, these examinations can be cracked in mentored studies. What is a mentored study? You are seeing my lectures, you are doing as I am instructing you, and you are following what path I am laying down for you, right? Right? Perfect. Cube and cube roots again. Now, cubes are something which can be negative also. So, minus 2 whole cube is minus 8, right? These are certain definitions only, right? So, a and a cube will always be of the same sign. Will always be of the same sign. Correct? Correct? Will always be of the same sign. Got it? Now, this is where the fun begins. This is where the fun begins. In class 9th, you must have done problems related to rationalization of numbers. In class 7th or 8th also, you may have done problems related to rationalization of numbers, right? So, we have a term called surds. Any irrational number of the form this is given a special name surd, where a is called radicand, also the symbol is called radical sign, and index n is called order of surd. It is read as nth root of a, nth root of a, and can be written as a to the power 1 by n. Now again, if we were giving board examination, we would have written what is n natural number only, right? Can n be rational? All these things do not matter here. All that is matter, all the things which matter to us are the properties which are coming next. Which are coming next. But these are the irrational numbers which we study till IOQM. Irrational numbers like e, pi, pi plus e, log, all these type of numbers, these are also irrational numbers, but they are important in JEE. They are not important in IOQM. Log to some extent is important, but it is not that important, right? Got it. So these are the laws of surds. They are simply like exponents, right? So nth root of a, if you just raise it to the power n, you get a. Obviously, we assume that a is greater than 0. We are assuming that a is greater than 0. Nth root of a into nth root of b is this. Order should be same. Nth root of this is also okay. Now, this is something which you need to understand. a to the power 1 by m to the power 1 by n. These powers get multiplied. And if you write them, just like you write the surd, you can write it like this, right? And you can see that you can change the order also. Here n is written, here m is written, here m is written, here n is written. Okay. And this is very important to change the order of surd. For example, if you have 2 to the power 1 by 2, you can write it as 2 to the power 3 to the power 1 by 6, because you can multiply them. Then you can write them as 8 to the power 1 by 6. Got it? You can write these laws. You can write these laws. Also, a to the power 1 by m into a to the power 1 by n is equal to a to the power 1 by m plus 1 by n. Right? Got it? Sir, please explain once more. Which point? Which point do you want me to explain once more? Can you just tell the number of points which you want me to explain once more? Please explain fifth point. Fifth point is changing the order. So let us take one example now. Let us take one example. Let us take one example. Right? Which is bigger? Which is bigger? 2 to the power 1 by 2 or 5 to the power 1 by 5. Right? Let's compare these two. Now we cannot compare them simply. We cannot compare them simply. What we do? We need to change the order. Now what is LCM of 2 and 5? LCM of 2 and 5 is 10, right? So, what I need to do, I need to make 10 here, but I had only half. So, what I will do, I will write half as like this. Similarly, I will write 1 by 5 as 2 by 10. Now, according to a particular law, which we have just studied, you can write them like these, right? And then 32. That is why, by the way, I told you. That is why, by the way, I told you, you need to remember powers of 2 till 10. Right? Getting my point? 32 to the power 1 by 10, 25 to the power 1 by 10. Now, this is greater, hence this is greater, hence this is greater, hence this is greater. Right? So, this is the application of fifth point. Now, do you understand the fifth point? Right? So, there are certain properties which are very difficult to understand when we just read them. But once we see the example like this, now we are seeing the example like this, we can actually understand it properly. Okay? I don't think the voice is low, right? I don't think the voice is low. Is my voice okay? Is my voice okay? This is going to be a 90-minute lecture. This is supposed to be a 90-minute lecture. Sir, we do not get feel in English. Do not study from these lectures. We have Hindi lectures already recorded, right? You can go for it. Okay? Perfect. Perfect. So, now, like I said, it is used, like the order changing theorem is used for comparison of surds, right? So, this is something which is important. Please write it down. Comparison of surds. obviously whatever we are studying here, we will do problems of these things. We are going to do problems of all the concepts that we have studied in this lecture only. Don't worry. Every lecture is going to give you the sense of fulfillment. Every lecture will give you the sense of fulfillment. Don't worry about it. Okay. I do not have any experience of Bernard and Child. I have not seen this book. Hollow Knight, for me, Hollow Knight is very good for higher algebra. Right? Rationalizing factors. Right? Now I am going to skip all these things. We are going to do exponents. Right? Because those things we will do in problems. Right? Right, because we need to understand the application of these things. We are not giving any board exams. I am again and again repeating, these are certain terminologies. Trinomial surd, nobody is going to ask you what are trinomial surds. Nobody is going to ask you what is binomial surd. Nobody is going to ask you that, right? So you don't have to worry about it. Okay, all these problems we are going to do. Okay, now exponents and surds go hand in hand. In fact, I think all of you must have seen these rules. Can you please just note them down? And if you have any problem in any of the rules, just let me know which rule is to be explained. You can just simply tell me which rule is to be explained. Which rule? Yes, this is code. This is free for everyone. This is free for everyone. Seventh point. Okay, a to the power bn, positive number, n is rational number. Okay, so this is also very simple thing. I don't know what is the problem here, but it is also very simple thing. See, it is written as a to the power bn, right? Now b can be written as b plus b plus b n times, right? So it can be written as, this is what it is saying. Okay, 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 okay. And one more thing which you can write here is, see, this is a symbol. If a equal to bc, ABC belongs to natural number, it implies B divides A. So we write it as like this. We write it like this. B divides A. C divides A. Okay. Okay. This is very important, guys. This is very important. Okay. While explaining, the voice is very low. Is it? Is it? The voice is very low when you are explaining, sir. See, like I have increased the levels. I have increased the levels. I have increased the levels. I don't think it will be a problem anymore. It will be a problem anymore. I don't think it will be a problem anymore. Fifth. The explanation of fifth point. A to the power n into a to the power minus n is a to the power 0. So like the powers get added, right? N minus n. This is the same thing. While we divide, the powers get subtracted. While here the powers get added. So if you replace n with minus m, you replace it everywhere. M minus m is 0. Okay. Okay. Next class is next Wednesday. Next class is next Wednesday. You can ignore them, guys. You can always ignore the spams. There are going to be some people who will always spam. You don't have to worry about them. You don't have to be worried about them. Okay. Chalo. Let's move on to the problems. Simply make the denominator rational. Now I am going to tell you how it works. Basically, when you see irrational numbers, what is root 5 plus root 2 into root 5 minus root 2? This is the identity which is very important. Always you have to think it like this. This becomes root 5 square minus root 2 square, right? A plus b into a minus b. So you have to think it like this. You have to think it like this, right? So when you have root 5 minus 2 root 2, just take root 5 plus 2 root 2 as the rationalizing factor, right? So what you have to do, make the denominator rational. So this thing, let us do it, and you will help me in calculation. My calculations are very weak, so you can help me in this, right? What I am saying, that this is the number which is actually written. Now I am going to replace this subtraction with addition, and since it is mathematics, I cannot simply multiply it in denominator. I have to multiply it in numerator as well, right? Now can you help me in multiplying these two? Can you help me in multiplying these two? Please help me, guys. Please help me, guys. Right? This is my request. Don't be lazy. Don't be lazy. Please do it. Don't be lazy. Right? Perfect. So now I'll consider this as A and this as B. Okay. For simplicity, I will write numerator as NR. This, because otherwise it will be very tedious to write each and everything again and again. 3 plus root 5. Now, what is A minus B into A plus B? This, right? Now let us do some rough work. 3 plus root 5 whole square is A square plus B square plus 2AB. So it is 14 plus 6 root 5. Okay. So it becomes numerator upon 14 plus 6 root 5 minus 8, right? 2 root 2 square is 8. So this becomes numerator upon 6 plus 6 root 5. Now it is interesting. Now it is interesting. We already had 12 here. So now I will write it properly. Till here, I was very lazy. I was just writing NR in terms of this. Now I can write it like this, actually, to cancel some of the factors. Okay. Okay. But still, my denominator is not rationalized. So now this is the difference between IOQM. When I said this thing, that I am going to teach you 9th and 10th at the level of IOQM, this is what I meant. You cannot find double rationalization. We are doing double rationalization here. What is double rationalization? We have rationalized it once to get a number which is not yet rationalized. So we are going to rationalize it again. This is double rationalization. This is not asked in NCERT, right? So this is IOQM. 2 into 3 plus root 5 plus 2 root 2. We are simply going to multiply it with root 5 minus 1. And now I am taking the liberty to write it directly. Root 5 plus 1 into root 5 minus 1 is 4. Okay. 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 See, like, see, if you had the intent of sending the sweets at my home, then I already told you the address, right? It is PJ House. Right? You could have searched Prashant Jain House on Google. You would have got the address. Now we just have to simply multiply. Root 5 into 3. 3 root 5 plus root 5 into root 5 is 5 plus 2 root 10 minus 3 minus root 5 minus 2 root 2, okay, upon 2. So what do we get? 3 root 5 minus root 5 is 2 root 5. 5 minus 3 is 2. Nice. Plus 2 root 10 minus 2 root 2 upon 2. So we have root 5 plus 1 plus root 10 minus root 2. Okay. Okay. I think I am making sense here. This is going to be the final answer. This is going to be the final answer. And I think Dhairya Gupta has got the same, exact same answer. Dhairya Gupta has got exact same answer. Right? Okay. Right? Sir, why did we multiply? Again, we are rationalizing it. That is what I told you. We always use this, right? So root 5 plus 1, how do I rationalize it? By multiplying it with root 5 minus 1. Our aim is to square it. How can you square it? A plus b into a minus b. So a square minus b square is the most important identity to rationalize the irrational numbers, specifically in denominator. Okay. Next question. Next problem. Square root of 7 plus 2 root 10. Now what are we asked? I am going to give you a very simple. We are asked this. What is going to be the square root? Root a plus root b. Just square them and compare the coefficients. Right? Just square them. A and b are irrational. Follow what I am saying. Square them. So the tagging is irrational numbers. This is the key idea. Root 5 plus root 2. Aditya Sharma is saying root 5 plus root 2. That was very fast. Maybe you did it already. So what I am trying to say, you just have to square it. Right? Root a plus root b. So 7 plus 2 root 10 is equal to root a plus root b square. So when you square it, you get a plus b plus 2 root ab. Now let's compare. 7 is a plus b and 10 is ab because it is 2 is common. Right? Right? Now, a very important note here. Very important note. Quadratic equation with root a b is x square minus a plus bx plus ab equal to 0. Because when you factorize it, you will get this. You will get this. Now you already have a plus b. So by this logic, you have this quadratic equation. And once you solve it, you will get 2 and 5 as the two roots. These are the two roots. Right? So you simply have the answer root 2 plus root 5. Got it? Please write dn. If you have understood it, write dn and note it down. Write dn in the chat and note it down. Why? Sir, aap 2020, the way you were teaching in 2020, you are not teaching with the same enthusiasm. Like I said, see, I am putting in a lot of effort in my language. So it is going to be, it is very obvious. It is very obvious that I cannot teach with the same enthusiasm because the total energy is conserved. if I'm putting my energy in language, then I have to save some energy from the enthusiasm, right? Right? Okay, perfect. Now this is the question. This is very important. This is very important. Now I will let you do it on your own. I will let you do it on your own. This is a very important key idea. There is a key idea behind this question. Right? Do it. Very interesting. Very interesting. This is very fast. You are getting the answer very fast. Sir, one class every night, please, sir, with questions. Guys, I have a life. I have a son and a daughter and a beautiful wife. I need to spend time with them also. Right? I started teaching in 2017-18. So now, first of all, we will rationalize it. Right? So you will get this. You must have got this. Then we will take it here like this. So what do I get? X square minus 4x plus 1 is equal to 0. Just simply square it and you will get it. Right? Now here is an interesting part. You see x cube. Right? Now let's do some manipulation here. I will write it as like this. Okay. Why I am doing it like this, I'll tell you. But I had only minus x square. So I will write plus 3x square minus 12x plus 3. Right? Now here I can take x as common to get this. Why I am generating this? Because this is the thing which is equal to 0. So this is 0. Right? And the beautiful part about writing it like this, first you get the answer as 1 because rest of the thing is 0. You have also learned to factorize, to divide the polynomial. This polynomial can be written as, see, like x square minus 4x plus 1 was the divisor. Let us take this as a divisor. X is one term, plus 3 is another term. So you are essentially writing this particular polynomial which is given in the question, the value of which is to be found as the divisor into quotient plus remainder polynomial. Now since this is 0, you get this as 1. Getting my point? This is the answer. This is the answer. Please write it down, guys. This is a very important problem. This technique, like I have named it, this is called reduction technique. This is called reduction technique. When you take the help of given condition, to reduce the degree, see, like the degree of this polynomial was 3. You used this information to reduce it to a constant. So you essentially reduced the degree. Okay. Okay. Next, let's do the next problem. Guys, I want you, see, like, if any of the learner is coming to see the recorded of this video, please mention in the comment section. Please mention in the comment section that, sir, I have seen the recording of this video. I could not attend it live due to certain circumstances, but I have attended it in recording. Please, guys, this motivates me that the learners are actually liking the idea of English lectures. Okay, perfect. Now, this is a question very similar to that. Again, a different typology, but it is required. See, solve it. 3 minus 2 root 2, find the value of x square plus 1 by x square. If x is equal to 3 minus 2 root 2, find x square plus 1 by x square. You are saying 634. Some of you are saying 34. So x square plus 1 by x square. Now, in these certain problems, see, like, these are the particular type of surds. 3 minus 2 root 2 into 3 plus 2 root 2. This is 1, right? So, this is a very important type of irrational numbers in which you multiply them with their rationalizing factor and you get 1. Okay. Now, since this is x, obviously this is 1 by x. That is why, that is how the multiplication will be 1, right? So, this is going to be reciprocal of this. So, if I have x as 3 minus 2 root 2, I have 1 by x as 3 plus 2 root 2. Now, what I will do, I will just simply add them. If I add them, I have 6. Now, when I square them, I will get this, and hence x square plus 1 by x square is 34. Now, you can note down these points. If x plus 1 by x is s, then x square plus 1 by x square is s square minus 2, x cube plus 1 by x cube is s cube minus 3s, right? You can note these points. Good to know these things. Sir, isn't it 2 times a square minus b square? You can assume it to be like this, but like, I always find this method to be easier calculation wise. Now, what Arise Dubus wants to say is this. Sir, see, like, x is a minus b. You yourself said x is a plus b. Now, x square plus 1 by x square is nothing but a minus b square plus a plus b square. So, you can simply write them as 2 times a square plus b square. A square is 9, b square is 8. So, it is 34. I am certainly appreciating this method, but this is not something which you will use in your examination, in my opinion, because once you are asked about x cube plus 1 by x cube, this method falls flat. Right? Because now x cube plus 1 by x cube can be simply written as 6 cube minus 3 into 6. 216 minus 18 is 198. Okay. So, this method is preferred. This is more general. Okay, guys. Am I making sense? Am I making sense to all of you? Got it. Rationalize the denominator. Now you can rationalize the denominator. This is a very simple problem. This is added so that I can gauge if you are able to do it or not. You were able to do it or not. Sir, want to study for AMC Head? You can follow these lectures. See, like if you are studying for AMC Head, you will be comfortable in English. How you doing? I'm doing great. Right? See, like the beauty of these lectures is these are going to be live. So if anybody wants to learn live from me, these are the lectures, right? Right? Perfect. Now 1 by root 3 minus root 2 minus root 1. Simply what I will do, 1 upon root 3 minus root 2 minus 1, right? Right? I'll simply multiply it with this. Okay. So now again I will carry numerator here. Denominator, take this as A and 1 as B. So root 3 minus root 2 square minus 1. Numerator is numerator. Root 3 minus root 2 square is 5 minus 2 root 6 minus 1. So it becomes numerator upon 4 minus 2 root 6. See, like you should not be worried about calculation. If you are preparing for IOQM, calculation should be least of your worries, because you will get enough time to solve the calculation, right? 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 So root 3 minus root 2 plus 1 into. Now you can see this becomes 2 into 2 minus root 6. Right, which is obviously a negative number, but we are not worried about it. 2 minus root 6, just simply multiply it with 2 plus root 6, right? What do you get? What do you get? It was a negative number anyway. What do you get? In the denominator, you get 2 minus root 6 into 2 plus root 6 is 2 minus 2. So in denominator you get minus 4. In numerator you get 2 root 3. Minus 2 root 2, I am simply multiplying 2 with all of them, plus 2, plus root 18, minus root 12, plus root 6. Okay. So 2 root 3, minus 2 root 2, plus 2, 3 root 2, this is 3 root 2, minus 2 root 3, plus root 6 upon minus 4. 2 root 3 gets cancelled. 3 root 2 plus, so you get 2 plus root 6 plus root 2 upon minus 4. So this is your final answer. Can you please check it? Can somebody please check it? Yeah. If you take minus above, you will get subtraction in the denominator, in the numerator. Yeah, this is actually a good convention. We should always write negative in numerators. The denominator should always be positive, right? Okay. Sir, should I refer your book for AMC2? Yes. See, like I have included AIME problems for the same reason. For the precise reason, I have included them. Got it? Now, do these problems. Very simple, to develop your number sense, so that you should not be afraid. You should not be afraid of irrational numbers. You should not be afraid of irrational numbers. Do these problems. half, right? So now what I do, 64 to the power 1 by 3, 1 by half. So it becomes 64 to the power 1 by 6. This becomes 64 to the power 1 by 6. And minus is always used to just invert it. So 64 to the power 1 by 6 is 2. So you have 1 by 2. Right? Now 1 by 121 upon 169 is, first of all, write it like this. And then take half inside and then cube. So this becomes 13 upon 11 to the power 3, 2197 upon 1331. Okay. Okay. Please do not write 13 cube upon 11 cube. I told you to remember these numbers. 13 cube is 2197, 11 cube is 1331. You need to remember these numbers. You need to remember these numbers. Kush Agarwal is saying SOF level content. See, like every lecture of, in fact, every first lecture of any competitive examination is going to be of basic level, right? If you want to see my levels, come after 10-15 weeks, right? Then you will know. Then you will know. And this is how the teacher has to teach, right? It has to, like, a learner has to develop his thinking from the basic. Perfect. Now, this is very important. How to approach problems like these. A to the power x is b, b to the power y is c, c to the power z is a. Prove that x, y, z is 1. A, b, c are distinct numbers. Distinct numbers. Why it is written distinct numbers? Because see, like if a equal to b equal to c equal to 1, then x, y, z can be anything. X, y, z can be anything. That is why it is written that these are distinct numbers. Right? Just put value of x. Now this is very interesting, right? A to the power x is b, b to the power y is c, c to the power z is a. Now I'll put value of b here. Now I will put the value of this is here. You get this? Now a to the power x, y, z, it has two solutions. Either a is equal to 1 or x, y, z equal to 1. This is rejected as it will result in a equal to b, which is contradiction to the given situation. A, B, C are given to be distinct. Got it? So we have proved it. We have proved it. We have proved it. Okay. Should we move on, guys? Sir, how to start JEE preparation earlier in 10th currently, and should I prepare for IUQM 2025? See, if you are in class 10, doing IUQM preparation is covering your early start. You are preparing for JEE if you are preparing for IUQM, for sure. Right? Now, n square plus 2n minus 8 is a prime number. Prime number, right? We had a discussion related to prime number where n belongs to n. Then n is. What is n? You need to tell me this thing. This is a very interesting problem. It has to do with the fact that prime numbers has only two factors. Prime numbers has only two factors. Right? right? Also a prime number. Then n is. So first of all, we need to factorize it. We will learn factorization, don't worry, we will learn factorization. But those who know can see that this is the factorization, n plus 4 into n minus 2. Now, this is a prime number. Now, prime number has one of the factor as 1 and itself. So, this is a smaller number. So, n minus 2 has to be 1, which means n is equal to 3 and this prime number is 7. So, n has to be equal to 3. N has to be equal to 3. This is a very important thing. First of all, you factorize it. You factorize this quadratic polynomial. Once you factorize this quadratic polynomial, then only when you factorize this quadratic polynomial, then only you can say that one of these factor has to be 1. So, just put it as 1. So, n is equal to 3. So, it is a relatively prime number. It is a prime number. Relatively prime to 10, yes, not a composite number. So, A and B, A and B, A and B, okay, okay, okay. Done, guys? Perfect. Hi, Prachitas Bhattacharya. I remember Prachitas Bhattacharya. Were you there in my first English course? So, I already attempted IOQM English course once in 2021, right? So, but I stopped teaching. Sir, please start live batch in Hindi. No, it is not going to happen. Guys, do not be in any type of like, I am not going to make any false promises to you. I am not going to start any batch in Hindi because I have already taught in Hindi. This batch also I am doing it for the last time because I had no content in English. This is why I am doing it live. If you want to study live from me, follow this batch only. Okay, follow this batch only. Got it. Chaliye. Oh, just a second. Consider the equation. Number of even integers satisfying the equation. Now you need to solve this equation. See, so it is factorized like this. Equal to 0. So x into x minus 1 into x minus 2. So when you have equations like this, you have roots as 0, 1 and 2. These are the 3 roots. These are the 3 solutions. So number of even integers satisfying the equation is 2. Number of odd integers satisfying the equation is 1. Number of odd prime natural number. Number of composite natural number satisfying the equation is 1. Correct. In fact, yes. In fact, nothing. No composite number is satisfying, right? No composite number. A and B only. A and B only. Again. Got it? Am I making sense, guys? Am I making sense, guys? Am I making sense? Got it. Now you can see, so twin primes is like this, which we both are prime, difference is 2. They are called twin primes. Twin primes, right? So it is a pair of prime, it is a twin prime, is a pair of co-prime, okay. 2, 6 is pair of even number. So you need to match the column. You need to match the column. So A is P R, right? For B, P Q, R, for C, P, pair of prime, co-prime, for D, 2, 6, 2, 6, only S, for E, we have 23 and 81, 81 is not a prime number. So, P is incorrect, Q is incorrect, R is correct. So, this is going to be the answer key. Can you see it? Yes. Hindi batch is recorded. Hindi batch is recorded. It will be premiered today also at 7 p.m. It will be premiered today also at 7 p.m. Right? Got it. What about paid batch? So, paid batch is already live Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. We are teaching on Zoom, right? So, it's a different platform. We are using Zoom for it. The multiplication of rational number x and irrational number y is, now you tell me the answer. Multiplication of a rational number x and an irrational number y is always rational, incorrect. Always take the counter example. If you have to prove something wrong, just give counter example. 2 and 2 root 2. Rational except this is incorrect. Always irrational, incorrect. 0 and root 3. Irrational except when x is equal to 0. This is correct. D option is correct. Right? Right? If somebody wants to attend the Hindi lecture, they can obviously drop out from here. Okay? Right? Now, find the total number of even factors. Now, this we do not know. So, we are going to skip it. We'll discuss this later. This again we have not discussed today. Yeah, this is something, this is a homework for you all. Right? Write answer in comment. Write answer in comment. Right? Basically, see, like we studied how to find the square root of irrational numbers. So, you have to find the square root of this, then you have to find the square root of this, then you have to find the square root of this. This is how you are going to do it. This is how you are going to do it. I have given you the hint. Do it and write it in the comment section. Comment section. Right? Which is greater. So, all these are homeworks. All these are homeworks. Like you were asking, are there any homework questions? These are the homework problems. All these are homework problems. You can write the answers in the comment section. You can write the answer in comment sections. All these are to be done in the homework. So, this is the batch which we have started. Class mode is online. Obviously, this is a Hindi batch. Everything will be given in English, material, etc. But the teaching will largely be in English. Online, offline learner kit will be given. Day Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, 5 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. Right. So, this batch has already started. One lecture is done. You can buy it using the code PJLive. The link is available in the description. Right. So, the next class is going to be on next Wednesday. Next Wednesday. Every week I am going to take one lecture. Right. So, I hope you liked this video. So, like what is the initial thought? What is the initial thought? So, like what were your expectations? Have I been able to match your expectation? The next class is next Wednesday. Let me correct it. You are saying there is no A. This is A. This is A. This is A. Okay. This is A. Right? Nice. No, the students in paid batch do not need to see it. Okay, guys. It is going to be really, really helpful. I will try to definitely continue this batch, but I need your support. I will always need your support, guys. So I hope you keep on giving love to Olympiad Corner channel. Please subscribe it, share it with your friends. And this is the only batch in English, right? This is going to be the only batch in English. There are many other players also who teach, but they are also teaching in Hindi. But this batch is going to be exclusively for English students, right? So thank you, guys. Let's crack it.